y'all doing? Okay, another evening of bombshell. Thank you all. This topic today, which has been on my mind for a while, like I wanted to talk about it, but I've been postponing it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go there. Because as we all know, this is a little dangerous topic, but as you all know, I always tell people to ask me any questions because now is the time for all of us to speak out. All of us. The days of hiding in the shadow are gone. Not because we're heroes or we're trying to save the world. None. Nobody can do that. But there's a point in human history when truth has to come out. When I say truth, I don't mean my truth, your truth. It's just we have to come together, speak our perspective in the creation of a global point of view. So everything I say now is my perspective from readings. It's not just opinion. Somebody was telling me the other day that let's call it opinion. Opinions are just opinions. People just make shit up on the spot. That's opinion, and we all have it. There are things that are my opinion. Just make it up, you know. But what I'm talking about is beyond opinion. This is educated studies, research. Otherwise, I would never open my mouth to talk about it. This is many years of research. Because I used to always wonder, how come Africa, the giant, the builders of the pyramids, how do we still, what's going on? I just, even as a child, I had that feeling. I'm like, what is going on? People are working very hard. And yet, the money is not great. Wealth is not, I didn't know, a child doesn't understand. It just knows that, people putting stuff in their head, and I'm not saying this to make fun of anybody. People carrying praise on their head to some like there's something going on. And I've always observing people having nice cars and somebody else oranges on their head. I'm like, what is this dichotomy? I'm born philosopher, right? Those of you that are very philosophical know what I'm talking about. It's things that most people don't are concerned about. That's why we all day we ruminate about the brooding boy. I'm also being a mystic. So anyway, how come people still have this and some people don't have that? And I began to study it. But you have to, this kind of stuff you have to study. You can't open your mouth if your facts are not there. The truth is not. Otherwise, people will debate you and you'll be called a madman or woman. Nobody wants a reputation, at least not when it comes to telling things, So, what I began to find out actually began to make me say, no wonder. This is why Africa is what it is. And I began to, again, studies, intuition, all kinds of stuff. And part of my conclusion, to keep it simple, is that Africa is being held back. It's not natural. I look around, I see Africans strong. People might say Africans are lazy. It's not true. What people call laziness of Africans is not laziness. It's the love of celebration. What is wrong with celebration? But it looks like a waste of time. Why does it look like a waste of time? Because poor people are dancing. It looks like this is why the reason is because they keep dancing. No. To me, I've seen Americans here dance and they're rich. So it's not celebrating. It is because people are not being shown how to be rich and wealthy. It's not taught. Why is this not taught in educational schools? How come I had to find this out years ago? How come it's not taught in high school? Because those who want to keep people slaves don't want it to be known. My father used to talk about this, just to just mention that again. He knew this. He talked to me for years about this. But in the mind of a child, I didn't fully understand. I got some of the idea, but I didn't understand the technical details. Now I can see both perspectives. Like, he's right, mostly right. The people that the Africans are looking up the leaders are the biggest enemies. Because I say the same thing happening in America here. It's the same system. If you want to deceive the people, to make them think that things are working out, nothing can be done about it, you put people that look like them. People who looked at them, and those are the ones you steal everything they have through those leaders. Because if you put a white man there, somebody doesn't look, they'll soon figure it out. Nobody's that stupid. They'll be like, it must be because of these Indians or these white people. They'll start fighting, and then they own the land, so they'll kick him out sooner than later. So how do you control? This is so beautiful to know, understand. And now I hope this goes viral. More people hear about this, because what I'm saying is based on logic. And more than 20 years of research. I had to, tons of books and knowing and mystical, all kinds of stuff. This is not to touch my own horn. Again, Everybody knows. They know I'm rash. I just speak truth as I know it. It's not dangerous. It's how we're meant to be as humans. When people think too much, when people start thinking too much, I always know they're about to lie. And I look, they go to their head, they think. No need for thinking. One should learn something in the world. Give it time. It will go into your heart space, and from the heart space to come out. Sieved, the truth now comes out. What's garbage is gone. Where it belongs. Trash. But what is called education today is not education. It is nothing but programming, like a computer. Put a chip in, information in, information out. Many people that I consider intellectuals are used to, I'm like, wow, this guy is just a machine. They have no what I call it organic intelligence. Organic intelligence, as far as I can see, people who have it, they're born with it. Or it can be taught, but you have to teach it. Organic intelligence means ability to look at things objectively, but not dryly, but from love, from your heart. It's almost like you're looking at it with logic, but from your heart center with love. Because love is how we're not biased. Love loves everything. Does that make sense? You don't just love this ring, you love everything. From that love, heart, soul space, then you look at things objectively, and things begin to reveal themselves to you. Everybody can do this. Nobody is special. I'm not special. You just sit down in meditation. Quiet your mind. Because the mind is the biggest obstacle to knowing things like this. The mind is busy. Most of us, they chatter non-stop. The more quiet the mind is because behind the mind is the spirit and soul. And they are the very repositories of truth. Everything is known to the soul level. The more the mind can clear, then everything starts getting revealed. Then when you read, you can know, that feels right. Otherwise, we are all brainwashed. To go back to point, other videos for this. Those who are interested, let me know. Message me, DM me other videos for this. Okay? Because this is a so juicy topic. So how did the British do this? They began to see, they know they're intelligent. After 100 or 200 years, people start revolting. It's natural. Nobody can be a slave forever. 100 years, they're like, okay, enough. Come on now. So what they did, they created, this is genius, pure evil. A system whereby you live, but you put people that will represent your interests there. And these are the so-called leaders. The kings, some of the kings. No, not all of them. Some of them stand for truth, but some corrupt. So-called leaders. And remember, if you ever look at how much money they're stealing, you see it's the European banks. European banks. Why? Why don't you keep it locally? If you're going to be a thief, at least invest it locally. Because this is about investing. See, people don't understand how wealth is created. Let me break it down a little bit to make it clearer. People think money is wealth. No, those who worship money eventually become slaves. It's a cosmic law. Because you're worshiping it. You don't understand the value of it. It's just paper. No, well, money is beautiful. I love money. Who doesn't like money? I like it more. But money represents true wealth. And what is true wealth? People who work, the workers, the machine people who create the machines, the industrialists, the hardworking businessmen, go to their shop, they are the true wealth creators. And then the intellectuals like me, people, who read, write. The book is a wealth because it's a creation from the heart space. That is wealth. Now we use money to help us trade it. We don't need money. I can just give you a book, you give me food. It can get tedious. You have to walk around with bags of rice all over the place. It's uncomfortable. So money was created to actually help us exchange that. Okay, this is what you have. This money that I have represents my wealth. I can give you this, you give me that. See? Otherwise called trade by barter. Trade by barter is ancient. Trade by barter, ancient. Money is good. I love it. But we have to make sure we're in charge of the money printing. That's the British system. Their system is based on money, not on wealth. You see, they began the Industrial Revolution, right? Not true. People think it's true. It's not true. The Germans started it. The Germans, in my view, are more intelligent in a particular way in terms of business, wealth creation, the engineering. They're the best, maybe on they're good at it. So they're creating, but the British are louder. They have money. They have the media. See, you got to study this. So they said, yeah, we began the Industrial Revolution. They're louder, more British. I'm not against the British. I love England. My sister lives there. No, I love going there. But for me, I separate the British people, and the British system. The British system is the Bank of England. The Bank of England are the one that owns the gold. And with this gold, they buy industries. You see the genius of them. They're clever. They buy the industrial class are the real business. People create wealth. They're creating things, machinery, industrial. These guys say no, they come and they say, we'll fund you. Fund who? Every nation state is complete by itself. The very principle, the Peace of Westphalia, those of you who know how modern industry came about. Nicholas Cusa, some of these greatest geniuses, they came together after the Middle Ages. I don't want to go and digress too much. Maybe I'll make videos on those topics. But those are, I could talk hours on those too. But you will understand, for those who don't get it, you will see why this world is decrepit. Not because there's not enough wealth, but because the people who are funding it are central bankers. I checkmate them. They've been busted. There's a brilliant man called Eustace Merlin who died in poverty because they controlled the banks. They finished him, but he put the knowledge out there. May he so rest in peace. The American Federal Reserve is one with the central banks, and they work together. The headquarters, City of London. Spiritual head, Vatican. The military, America. Y'all making sense now? You see the triangle? The religion, control the masses. They have to be exposed. All of us have to do this work. It's time to expose it. Don't be afraid. Somebody's afraid that they might come for them. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to be speaking about this. I don't want to. No, but I know. It's time to reveal truth. This is a new age. People don't understand it. New age. See, the age of Aries, of war, of these bankers, they have their time from time to time. But they should never be allowed to take over things because why? They don't know how to create wealth. See, people don't understand the difference between wealth is a creation. You create a wealth business, books, whatever, luxury goods, things. These guys, they only know how to print money. That is the stupidity of their system and the nonsensical absurdity that we allow them to rule the planet. They print money. They go into your country. They'll say, "Oh, we're going to give you the gold." They have the gold because they've been accumulating it for centuries. And they say, "Because we have this gold, we're going to have the paper receipt." That's what money is. Money represents the gold. Right? It's a receipt. And they say we're going to fund your industry. It's cunning. It is absolute horse shit. Let's just call a spade a spade. I don't like to talk indirectly. Maybe I'm like my father in that way. We're like direct. Direct is my way. Speak the truth. Say it. Because that's the language we need to speak today. Direct language. Not from I'm right, you're wrong. But just truth. Like this is what I've researched. What is your truth? And we can come together. We can come to a bigger perspective. What I'm saying is a perspective, an aspect of truth. But we can come together. Anybody you do the research, you see it. I'm not making anything up. 20 years. It's a long time. 15 years at least. Not just me. Many people know this. But we are all releasing this information. It's time to release this knowledge. Not to digress too much. Those are other videos, the printing money. Let's focus on the Nigeria thing. I don't want the video to get too long. Scare some people. So when you leave the country, you leave Nigeria, people are like, freedom, freedom, it's happy, they dance on the street. They don't understand. It just changed hands. They always choose the most idiotic people. That's how the system works. That's why they like the khaki boys, the military guys. They are most mediocre at best. Literate sometimes, but they give them power, women, alcohol, drugs, whatever they give them, bribe them, make them billionaires. Imagine this guy's khaki boys. They have no idea how to create wealth. They're warriors, warrior class. Their job is to defend the nation, never to have power. That's the mistake we've made all over the world. We've allowed the warrior classes take things over. They're gifted to defend us. Or they can also be entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs that can assist in the movement of merchandise. The rail service. That's their job. And they're valuable. Everybody has their place. But if you allow them to have power, that's how things get messed up. Because every type has its work. There's the business class, the people who work, the real so-called working class. They are the shopkeepers, the traders, the real who create wealth. The goal, the work of the soldier is to defend. And everybody needs to know their place. But when you start putting the soldier boy to monitor your store, they're going to destroy it. It's what we call the social services. I'm not against social services, by the way, but put the right talent there. But they should know their place. That look, you're going to manage this for us, okay? But don't start thinking that you know how to create businesses. The real business class are the workers, the Saturn, the real money, people who create wealth, not the money printers. They don't know anything. People who work, the mechanic, the traders, the goldsmith. These are the ones, the people. These are the people that are creating wealth, and they're the ones that suffer the most. Why? Their work is not valued. You put the empty-headed politicians there, and all they do is steal day and night. How do they steal? Let's talk a little bit about that. See, the central banking system, this is advanced economics I'm talking about. It's not what people think. Central bank, people think we need it. We don't need them bastards. What we need is a credit system. The credit system is a system of where somebody's genius, Nicholas Kusa, all this guy, go read their books, you'll see it. It's a credit system, and that's what the American system, every republic, for example, Nigeria is a republic. That means you control your own wealth. Huh? I don't believe in democracy. Democracy is what I call the mobocracy, the rule of the mob. Don't worry about the mob. We need a republic, a meritocratic republic where greatest minds rule. Well, how do you make this happen? See, the way they control the elections, people need to understand this, is through the money changers. They'll fund people like Abiola, who's just a useless man, an idiot, a non-entity, criminal, accountant. People like that, they finance them and they help him steal. The very day he chose to do the right thing, that was when he was marked for death. That's what happens to these people. How long can you keep stealing money? You're a billionaire now. Now what? You start feeling remorse. You say, okay, let me do something. The very day he chose to do the right thing, create Awolowo. That is the man. People like Awolowo, my goodness. I could never praise the man enough. My dad loved him. Now I understand why he liked him. Because now from years ago, I realized that this is why. See, this Awolowo man, some people say he stole money, so what do I care? See, I'm not totally against stealing. If you're going to steal, at least invest it in the nation. I'm not against it, honestly. I'm a practical man. At least he had newspapers, factories. Maybe he's the one. See, people don't understand. The idea of being entrepreneur is beautiful, but invest in the industrialization. The British, what they've done, they have commandeered us and told us, see, all this the cell phones, all these things, oil, where do you think they get their industrialization from? Huh? Where do you think the British got it from? All the so-called advanced countries. The truth, my brothers and sisters, is they use the raw materials of Africa. This is such criminal. And then they tell the Africans, look, this is what this is worth. How dare they do that? Telling us what the gold is worth, the mineral resources are worth, but guess what? We have corrupt leaders who says, yes, we agree. And then they have the central banks in place that print some money and say it's only worth. This is speculational. I call it speculation and money, speculated money. It's not real wealth. It is computer money. Somebody's just gambling. Say, your naira is worth this much. But you know what happens when a country's currency depreciates that bad? Poverty. Sad. Because people, they have to work so hard. That's why the working people work to death. That's the principle of this ignorant fools. I mean, not the Nigerians, talking about the central bankers. It's based on usury. Okay, not too long ago, I was asking these people, they lend Africans money. I realized, I found out, I almost, in fact, maybe I cried, I don't remember, years ago. African countries, they've borrowed a few billions from the central bankers, the World Bank. These guys, they are world thieves, world-class thieves. We have to expose these people. It's time. Age of truth is here. They can't kill us all. Age of truth is meant to be exposed. This is a new age we've been talking about. New age. Time. Say it. Read. Study. We are allowed to speak it now. We are. The universe is protecting us all. So don't worry. Expose it. This is what they're doing. So now Nigeria, the money is now maybe 400 naira to $1. Who's to say? Think about it. This is logic. Simple, practical logic. We own this stuff, and you guys need it for your industry. Then you're going to tell us how much we're going to sell it for? I don't think so. To hell with you. Look at oil. Everybody, and we don't even have our own refinery. Why? They dare our leaders. You go ahead and do what's right, and we'll see what happens. That's how they finish people like Awolowo. They made sure he never, ever accessed true power. But what Awolowo would have done, Nigeria at least, Western would be, Paris of Africa. That was his vision. And Africans, we have the genius. I've met Africans of all types. We had all in different kinds. Some are good businessmen, some are technicians, some are poets like me, some are philosophers like me, some are mystics like me, some are all kinds of people I've seen. All different businessmen who can, the Igbo, like the entrepreneurial spirit is in the Igbo business. Turn around, sell this, the energy, but they're not encouraged. Why? The people who control the money are the useless ones, the ones who run the central banks. They have no idea how to create wealth. Huh? They have the industrial civilization. Industry. My dad used to talk about Odutola. I used to be like, this man, why is he praising this Odutola? He just, now I understand it better. Maybe Odutola was doing some crazy stuff. I don't know. I can't vouch for him. But that principle is what my father was recognizing. The industrial people who create jobs, work, factories. We can look at China. They got the money from the British Empire. Different story. Developed China. What China did in 30 years, Africans we can do in 1 year. Because the Chinese are brilliant, but Africans, we build the pyramids, people, y'all. We built. Don't let them tell you that some aliens built it. We built it. It was the one of the ancient wonders of the world. How did they? With engineering, we can do it again. We just have to wake up and rise and remember who we are. Okay? So as I was saying earlier about what they did to Africa, I'm going back and forth because I'm a storyteller. I'm weaving it to create a structure so that people can be like, wow, because I have to build it. I'm building it. Okay? So I might go here, go there. Just ride with me, flow with me. This is love, logic, mystical knowing combined together. So this just relax. Okay? Do your research. Don't believe anything I say. So now Africa is, of course, because the resources is what we need to build our own industry, but they won't allow it. And most Nigerians don't know this. People like my father probably, my father knows, but there are other people that also know, but they don't have the means to take over the government and say, let's build industries. They're not encouraged. Huh? They have Shagari Awolowo, the true visionary. He knew it. He said, educate the man, free education, make it free. Why not? We can afford it. Health, set them free. Give them freedom. Everybody. Honestly, I've been on this earth long enough. I've met so many people. I love people. Everybody knows that. I've never met one that's not a genius. The only thing I've noticed is their genius is not appreciated. Sad. Sad. Because I've met many of them and they die. Some of them die poor. Some are not recognized. And it's really sad because their contribution would have been immense. Let me give an example. See, one of the gifts a human being can have is childbirth. If you can find a woman or a man who's very much in touch with the inner being, the spirit, the birth process is where many humans miss the point. I'm speaking as a mystic. The birth process. If there can be somebody there in the hospital room who welcomes the spirit of the soul. I know this because I remember my own past lives and my birth. All this has been revealed. Every mystic it gets revealed. You see the trauma of childhood. A child comes in and you slap their bum and they cry. The child is already traumatized. You send them to hell. Now they're going to be angry, aggressive, fighting for no reason, just pissed off for no reason. Why? Because we're meant to be met here with love. Say, welcome home, we love you. A child born like that will be so relaxed, so present, so here now, so available to the universe, to existence, open-hearted. And that gift naturally would unfold. They will be the mothers, the ones who give birth to the children. Imagine millions of people being born this way. Peaceful people, but intelligent. Because intelligence requires us to also know how to build weaponry. I'm not a pacifist. I'm not a damn fool. Only a foolish person would say no need for weapons. Everybody will come and invade your country. No, have the weaponry like the Egyptians did, but only defense purposes. Never to attack. That's how Egypt fell. As I remember it, we became defensive. No. Make sure you have the best defense system. Nobody can fuck with you. Develop Egypt. I remember it as a mystic. You remember how this things, it gets revealed as a mystic. It's like I'm here, I'm there. On top of the pyramid was the gold or this metal. Everybody that's ever studied this will know that it was shiny. The whole thing was flat and smooth, and we generated so much energy. It was free energy. There were so many pyramids, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. Who knows? They're buried in the bushes. If one was to go to Nigeria, you will see some of these pyramids, but most people don't know. Whenever I go home, I'm always like searching, but I don't tell anybody until now. People are gonna find out. I haven't told anybody in my family, but I'm exposing myself these days. I'll go and find some of this, and I'm like, wow, look at that. Because you can still feel the emanation. It's been dulled because it's not activated. But this thing used to be like an international connection. This is what universe is planning for humanity now, and that's part of why I'm beginning to speak about it. I was just sent by the ministry schools to speak on this, and because I've been trained to do this. Many people have their own gifts, so that's part of why I'm making all these videos. It's time to say it, because what the mystery schools realized is we realized that we've been too quiet for too long. You see, when the mystics who carry civilization and knowledge start forgetting the purpose, it has an impulse. Other people come in, other beings come in, and they've been teaching the wrong things to humanity. For example, they're teaching the theory of scarcity. There's not enough. It creates war. This principle has to get away from the planet Earth once and for all. I'm here to treat the principle of abundance. My abundance does not take away from your abundance. Your abundance doesn't have to take away from mine. Why not? We can share. But people are greedy. That's the secret of greed. When you teach people that there's not enough, they're going to be greedy. And I don't blame them, because they're going to be like, I got to take a lot because there's not enough, right? I'm going to have as much. I'm going to make sure that you don't have as much. No, we need to re-educate our children. And to the universe, I hope one day, I'm working on it, to building schools. That's part of my mission, so that people can come learn all these things. It's time to teach children from a young age, so that we're not selfish. We are selfish as humans. I don't blame anybody. If you teach people that's not enough, you're gonna have to be, what other way? You have to keep more. But if you say, wow, universe is a currency. That's the difference between what I call the British system and the German system. German system is not perfect either. They became warriors too, but generally it makes more sense. Why does it make more sense? When a company, people are happy, they're getting paid, they're happy, they're more productive. They might even have a little share, maybe 0.001%. Who cares? Give them something, they'll be more productive. The British system is based on usury, just printing money. But you see, when you're printing money, just to go back to that point, maybe I should make other videos for this, because these are deep things I could talk about for hours too. Printing money is not the solution. Right now, America is printing money up the wazoo. What it does is it brings the value of things down. So much money is available now, more than the resources, more than the true wealth. And now what happens? The prices drop down, depression, guaranteed. Why? Because there's no value anymore, no more values. But if you create so much wealth, and only the amount of money that represents that wealth is available, then it creates a currency, and it flows. The barber gets paid enough, and then he goes to shop in the market. The woman that's this meat seller, fish seller, she gets money. She goes to buy jewelry. The person who's making jewelry also is fed. Is based on his or her own creation of wealth. Then he might go to somebody like me, a teacher, learn something, blesses me with his own whatever gifts. Say, oh Lord, thank you for sharing this with me. Here you go. And I'm like, oh great. Then I can take more time making more videos, right? Then I can create and do more of what I'm here to do. See, that exchange is what's missing on earth. That's what I was saying earlier. The values have to come back. We have to train our children, find their gift. So I've been a teacher in the high school, in the secondary school. I've seen some of these children. Amazing. These children cannot do mathematics. I've always loved math, not like my sisters. Mathematics bores me, just to be honest. It bores me. It's so linear, and I prefer more complex equations. It bores me, but I know it enough to be able to teach high school, and I was teaching these children. Not because I'm not, hopefully I don't come across as like I feel like I know everything. No, that's not my purpose. The purpose is just more to show that there are different kinds of mathematics. People think all math is just simple. No, there are complex mathematics that actually becomes mystical as you go through them. The Pythagorean equation at its core is pure mysticism. It's telling you something, sacred geometry of the universe. Those are different videos I'll talk about as the demand comes. Let's just focus more on what's going on right now. Keep bringing it back. You see, dance and bringing it back. I'm not a boring. That's why people like what I say. I'm not boring. It's like I'm dancing. Otherwise, it becomes linear, and then. No, not that's not my style. So let's come back home now to the Federal Reserve Bank and the central banks of Africa. This one is more about the African. I'll say more about the American system. The same thing. People think Americans are doing so well when I was, you know. Now I understand this thing's better. It's a game. It's a game. Now America is being destroyed. Those who have eyes, my friends, people who know, they will whisper in a secret. Because once you see it, you can see it everywhere. You can still understand it. It's the same principle. You build the country up, people are middle class, they're happy, and then what? When people are happy, they have money, what do they ask for? More vacation. They start demanding their rights. They say, I'm working so hard. Why am I not saving money? Now those who came to build, those who came to steal, there's a time to move. You watch it. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Study human history. Roman Empire, how did it fall? Roman Empire was so big, it was almost global. Almost global. It began to, why? Because Rome began as a republic. Republics always create wealth. Why? Republics respect every individual. That's why Egypt, any civilization that lasts forever, has to be a republic. Everybody counts. That's not democracy. People think it's democracy. No, democracy is not. Democracy means the majority rules. Dangerous. Dangerous. No, republic means everybody counts. Everybody counts. See, they've reversed it. They lie to us. They say democracy is the best. No, republicanism is the best. Republicanism that also allows social services, of course, right? So people don't think I'm so kind of crazy capitalist. No, I'm saying the wealth has to be so much. Everybody creating their wealth, doing what they love. People work hard. I've never met a lazy man in my life, and I've been looking. No, what I find the people that are doing what they're not good at. When you're not good at something, your heart is not in it, you don't do it as well. Yeah. Not because you can't do it, but you're just bored. And how are you going to create wealth when you're not interested in what you're doing? So that's part of what I want to create schools. I'm already doing physical building. People come, children can come, and they can start learning these things from a young age. The principle of abundance, of sharing, of creativity. And that's what the British have taken away from all our education. Do you guys know that when British came to Africa for the first time, see, these are things people don't study anymore, the real history. The historians, they were accurate, they were honest. They said what they found was better than Europe. I'm talking about 15th, 16th century. Africans, we built the pyramids. What do you mean that we're going to be living like in huts? They make it look like we live in huts, grass skirts. Absolute rubbish. We had cities. Djibouti was a kingdom. Now it's a shop. It was a kingdom. All these places, Ife. People talk about Ife. Where did Ife come from? Let's just talk truth. Let's speak truth as is known by the in the mystery schools. What does Ife mean? Ife means love. The people who left Egypt, Nubia, founded the Ife. Let's just speak truth. Ududuwa, all those guys. And they built big fucking industries and factories. Now they tell us that we are primitive. No, to hell with them. How are we going to be primitive and grow so much? But they've kept this truth from us. And now they tell us, okay, we know everything. Let me just mention this real briefly. The library in Alexandria, some people know it. They say the big library in Egypt was burned. It's not true. I'm here to speak all this among other people. It's not true. It's called false flag. If I want to steal something from that house over there, I'll burn something in the corner. And while you're worrying about the corner, I'll take everything else. See, you take everything out. Then, after you take everything, then you burn the whole thing down. And you say it's been burned down. You have the knowledge. The Vatican. I've been to the Vatican. I wanted to go check for myself a couple of years ago. And I went, I was like, this is the most private, the most evil place on the planet. Because the energy was so low. And that's why they have the library in Alexandria. The Egyptian knowledge, the African knowledge that we lost touch with, it has to be exposed. The theory, they stole it. Everything they are introducing to us, reintroducing to us as new inventions, no, they had the diagrams. Africa was the university. People used to come study. But once you loot all the knowledge and you reduce the people to poverty by telling them that there's a lack, they have to work only on the farms. No, then we forgot our knowledge. How did we build the pyramids? Nobody remembers. I do. And I'm going to make videos about it. Just to say one sentence about it. The pyramids were built with what I call the sound engineering. You see, you have to match the frequency of anything that you want to lift. You match the frequency. How do you do it? See, these are all mystical things that need to be introduced to universities. When I was doing my PhD, I couldn't finish it. There was no way. They wouldn't let me. People are going to say, excuse. No, from day one, it was a fight. Because I'm very malleable in many ways, but there are things I'm not good at compromising. I was like, no, I'm here, all this money, and I'm going to just listen to you. No, tell me, prove it to me. I've always been like that as a child. Not to do it. We are the way we are. Not to say I know that anybody else, but it's just truth to me. It's a passion. What is truth? What is truth? And they don't care. They don't care. They want to check. And the appellation, Professor so. I'm like, okay, get me out of here. I tried my best. I did. For the sake of my mother, who I love, she said, PhD, I love her. I want to, in my heart, I just noticed that this, and then I did my best to finish it, but they told me at a point, for the first time, maybe I'm saying it publicly, they said, we're just not going to give it to you. We don't want people like you with a PhD. You know, what do you mean? They say, you're too mystical, too committed to truth. We don't want that. We want people that we can control. Not in so much language, but the idea was conveyed to me. We want people that are in agreement that we can control. And I looked them in the eye and I said, I would not pay this price. It was a little sad because I wanted it so that I can teach in the university. My life would have been probably easier a little bit, but I am not good at compromising truth because I know the consequence and I'm not willing to pay the price. The consequence, I could have gotten the PhD, like, okay, give me, and then I'll bullshit people. The price would have delayed my awakening, spiritual awakening, and I wasn't willing to delay anything. My teachers were coming to me in meditation. The whole universe was clear. Make that choice, make that choice. And I thought about my mother, and I said, she wants this, but I said, she wouldn't want me to sell myself out. So I chose truth. About 7, 8 years ago, and I've never looked back. It hasn't been as easy, that route, but I am at peace. Not because I'm a saint. I have no interest in being a saint. Because all saints are hiding their own inner sin, and we are human. I'm a simple man. But there are things I don't compromise. Truth. Why would I do what you want? People are telling me, just get the PhD. But people don't understand the price of things. Once you get the PhD, you are beholden to them. You don't understand. Now you have to speak like a PhD. That's the danger. People don't understand. No, you just have to speak truth as you know it. People call it ego. Don't worry about the ego appellation. People want to, that's the biggest thing they do. And if you open your mouth to say you're a spiritual teacher, oh, look at your ego. That's the trick. That is the trick of the oligarch. They have the biggest ego and you want it to be small. See, what people call humility is not humility. Humility means originally to make small. Why are you making yourself small? To me, the true humility, as I express and live it, is I am a soul. You are a soul. We are equal. What else do you want from me? If I can recognize another soul, another soul, it is in utmost respect. Wow. Another mirror. Thank you. I love you. I don't have to touch you. No, if I don't want to. But I give it the highest respect. So that's what I tell people. When you meet another human, respect them. Namaste. That's what it means. Namaste. If you want to touch food, touch not because you're worshiping, but from honor. That I am awesome, you're awesome. That's love. Different conversation. I have to bring it back. The truth is Africa is being, and I see a ray of hope. Gives me great joy because I see my African brothers and sisters saying no more. We are waking up to our memory. We may still be born again Christian, but sooner than later we'll catch up to the truth. We'll realize that, you see, the sun God is what Jesus represents. It's the sun. It's the logos. Those who understand the mystery of it know what I'm talking about. It's the logos, the truth of it. And no truthful human can say there's only one way. That is a warfare. So those who change the scriptures, they are still going to be exposed. We're working on it. The truth shall be revealed that the true Christ, the true Jesus is the logos. And that means be a Christian. Who says not to be? I love Christians. I love all religions. They all lead to the one. I love them all. But they have to be honest and say they're not the only way. That is the beauty we are bringing to the planet. So as long, for now it's okay. I don't even care, people. Born again, it's beautiful. I love them all. I have family. I respect them because I see their heart. They're beautiful people. The truth, they're already discovering it. What matters more to me is the economics. More in terms of the African solution, the economics. Most people have prepared, they're doing well, they're going to become philosophical. Philosophy always comes as a luxury. When you've eaten, you maybe made love, you have food, you have your house, then you can start wondering about. And that's what people, philosophers, the scientists, everybody will become scientifically inclinated. They start thinking. And once that's happening, more and more people will realize who's their enslaver. It is the central bankers. We need to get rid of those people. We have to be a nation of republic again and claim our oil back. There are pushbacks already. There are even those who are talking of a new war in Africa. Let it be clear about Biafra war. Let it be clear who was behind it. The British and the French, they are the same. The money, the central bankers, they are the ones that funded the Biafra war. Anybody that wants to do their homework will see it. And they allowed 1 or 2 million Nigerians to die. For what? When we could have worked it out as a nation, as a people, and built one of the greatest economies ever seen. Awolowo tried, they didn't allow him. They put the idiots in power who would like to divide. The Ojukus, the warmongers. Yeah, I'm calling Ojuku out. The warmongers. There was no need to do that war. We could have worked it out. There were people who were willing to talk. Let's be honest. There's always people they wouldn't listen to. The British divide and conquer. And we fought that war. What did we get out of it? Nothing. They made money from that war. They made money. Of course, Biafra, they came with the French, but it's the central bank. People don't get it. They may have different nations behind them. It is the same people. The same people. And it's time to expose them. And I'm not here to make anybody go to jail. That doesn't appeal to me. In fact, I want them to keep having money. It's just for us to go to them and say, your time is over. Keep your mansions, keep your money. Because that's the art of warfare. If you want to win the battle, never be too brutal in the war. People don't understand this principle. But these are battle things. I speak as a mystic, as a teacher, and I say this with total confidence. We don't need to be so brutal with it when we win a war. That's what creates vengeance. They'll come at you in and they will resist surrender. No, what I'm telling my fellow workers of light, those of us that are doing this, is let's not be too mean. Let's tell them that their time is over. Keep your money, keep your mansions, keep your women, but your time is over. That one they may listen to. They're already listening to that. They would not leave if we say, oh, you're going to have to pay. Reparation is good, but gentle reparation, gentle one, where they can still be rich. The time is over. The age of warfare is gone. This is a new age of abundance for the planet Earth. That's how I see it. That's how I was sent as an initiator at the mystery school to reveal all these things to humanity now. It's time for us to know this. It's time, please. Let's not call this conspiracy theories. Don't believe anything I say. Go do your own research. That's why I speak so confidently, because I've done my research and I'm convinced. But I'm not gonna. Science never convinces anybody. Science is not interested in you. Science just says these are the facts. Do the research, you find the same truth. I'm a scientist of the inner world and the outer world. You see it. This problem, and it's changing. That's why I'm concerned about this rioting going on in Nigeria right now. Some people will say, lower your ego. It's okay. Listen to me. Then I gotta end this video soon. I don't want it to get too long to scare people. Look, the rioting now, I understand it. They saw whatever they're called. They were put there by the system. People don't know. I'm here to expose it. Don't believe anything I'm saying. You just do your own research. You see it. It makes sense. You see, it's called color revolution. Look at all the countries where these revolutions happen. They end up putting the worst leaders there. Don't believe me. Do your research. You'll see it, my friend, my brothers and sisters. It's time to know this. Do your research. Open-minded, open-hearted. That's science. If you think you know, you're not scientific. Science means I'm open. I never think I know anything because I'm a scientist. So more, you discover more. It's a beautiful journey. So joyous, so full, so fulfilling. Because there's the higher truth. Wow, it's such a beautiful spiritual path. But anyway, so let's just face the truth of this. What they've done is they've been looting, and it's time for Africans. That's why Gaddafi was destroyed, y'all. Gaddafi, in my view, was not a saint. Who's a saint these days? He lived in the country of Arabs. They kill each other. He had to be tough. I'm not justifying it, but I see the man's vision, and we Africans need that. We need that unity. He was going to put his own gold to back African currency, where we determine the price of our resources. The French said, enough, we got to finish that guy. And they did the color revolution. It's the simplest thing. See, these things don't change. Once you study it, you can see it. Anybody can see this is not complex. Right? It's not such a smart thing to do. You can just see, oh, okay. What they've done. Color revolution. People that are disgruntled, which there's always, they cause it with their poverty-stricken system. People are pissed off, they blame their government, they don't know, the government can't tell the truth. Why? Because they're paid to be quiet and to pretend like they're going to do something. They can pay all over the world, but If you study them, nothing changes, because the people who are in charge are the people who own the gold central bank and the America's Federal Reserve. They control the money. The only reason, part of why I personally say Trump should win this time around, is because I see a little sense in him, a little bit, not too much. They're not really our friends either. Let's not be deceived. But they are willing to work with us. I'll take that over the slave owners. Okay? I'll take that over the slave owners. And then we can work with them and build a new system. Americans can't do it alone. We can't, because they'll just come again and with military and they take it over. Military is what they use. When Abiola was going to do the right thing, remember when he won, it was awakening. So everybody, Abiola was a great soul. My dad knows. He was an advanced soul. I'm just revealing this truth as I know it. But we all get corrupt. He got corrupt. But corruption doesn't, somebody like Abiola's caliber, you know how many brothers and sisters died before he was born? He was a pretty awake. The moment he began to say, I need to do something, he saw it. Towards the end of his life, I'm rich, I'm enjoying, I have these women, people are dying. He was a compassionate, you can look in his eyes. He was a pretty compassionate man. And he said, let me do something. That was the end of his life. That's why they poisoned that man in jail and put a brutal dictator there. Yes, somebody has to speak truth. Yes, this is what happened. They poisoned him. If you watch this, you will see like a U.S. naval ship not too far away from Lagos. People who are paying attention told me, and I know it's true. That was a threat. You want to do the right thing, we'll finish you. That's what they've done. So that's why we need a powerful ally on our side. America's Civil War was won when the Russians joined with the Americans to stop the British Empire. That's the truth. Go study it. And that's what we need now. That's why I am for a bipolar world where we have many powers, so that we can have assistance to stand up against these evil giants. To say, no, you dare attack us. We have Russia on our side. We have America on our side. And then they'll listen. And then we can actually have an economy in Africa that booms. And we can celebrate. And then we're going to have so much more knowledge. First thing first, I'm a practical man. First thing, eat, feed the people, create industry for them. But how are we going to do it with the central bankers in place? They will never allow it. They will destroy it. That's why I'm hoping Trump wins, or at least, I don't care who wins, but somebody who will use America's military not to dominate other nations, but to say, we got your back. Because that is the very foundation of the true American system. Let it be known, America has never been practiced. I'll say it again. America has never been practiced because the British Empire always got involved. Who was behind the slavery? Who was behind the slavery? Let's keep the truth. 95% of the slave ships was owned by the British East India Company. Do the research, you'll see it. The British East India, they owned the slaves. They worked with our corrupt kings and queens, so-called kings. Your empire, let's just call it spade. I'm going to name it all. Or your empire, they built it. Guns, slavery, all kinds of, they were building it. The same thing happening right now is still happening. The kings and politicians are the new kings. And they're corrupt. They have to be exposed. Don't worry, they're not going to kill anybody. Because even they want this truth out. That's what people don't realize. They're bored. We're humans. At a point, you have your own mansion, and then you walk out, people are starving. It's difficult. They use cocaine, drugs. How long are you going to use cocaine to cover your heart? They also want this out. So please, say it. Because they'll support us. Because they're tired. How much money can you steal and still be happy? They get fatter and fatter and fat. That's why they're getting fat. Because the guilt, they eat more. The guilt makes them eat more. Because they see what they're doing. Africa doesn't have to be like this. We build the pyramids. Not just 1,000, hundreds, who knows? All over the continent. They call us the black-headed ones. That's what Kemet means. The black-headed ones. The giants, tall. We used to be much taller those days, thousands of years ago. I remember this because I remember my past lives. Tall. Everybody wanted to go to Africa. Oh, the Africans. And now we're begging the West to help us. Oh my goodness. How embarrassing. Boy, it's worth it. We lost our way a long time ago, and then we lost power. And now we're waking up again because we've learned the lesson. I hope so. The lesson that if you try to dominate another nation, if you try to dominate somebody else, you will be dominated. It's a cosmic law. I hope we've learned that. We will never do that again. Because we did slavery too. Come on. Eru. Where does the word Eru come from? But we were doing Eru to people who are more ruthless. And they taught us a lesson. They took it far, too far. It's over. Let's forgive each other. But I'm for reparations. That means reparations for African Americans 300 years of labor, you need to get at least something from it. And Africans, we need to tell the truth and realize the slavery, they never left. Once a nation has a central bank, they fucked. Central bank, you see, people might say, oh, Lua, we need banks. No, I'm not against banks. We need community banks. Banks that serve the nation, that serve the community, not international bankers. Whenever you hear the central bank, that means they're stealing in the central way. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. Yes, they put the power somewhere and then they loot that country through their system. No, we need small banks, community banks, local towns. They may have like a national, truly national bank, where people, if you have an idea, the average African, I've met people, geniuses, they have this idea, but nobody supports it because the international bankers don't want that. They're afraid of it. So imagine a national bank that say, okay, what's your idea? Oh, you're a mechanic. We help you open a mechanic shop. Oh, you're a barber. Whatever it is, people will thrive. People say Africans are lazy. I've never met one lazy African in my life. They may look lazy, they're not. It's just, if people don't understand how the human spirit works, people are very materialistic. The soul is the one that activates the body. When one is here, see, I'm talking because I'm doing what I'm here to do. It energizes you. If somebody is here to be a mechanic and we force them to go to school, you're destroying their soul. They may even, I've seen the PhDs be like, oh my goodness, no, that's not their field. Encourage them in that field. Supply the money to them. The credit system, that's American system. That's the best system. The only system that creates wealth is credit. Usury system, African nations have borrowed billions of dollars, okay? About maybe 20, 30, 100, I don't know how many. Guess how much we paid back, y'all? Trillions of dollars. That's usury. How can somebody thrive if you give them $1 and they have to pay you $1 million back? Your whole life you work it. That's what happened to Africa. Let's just expose it. Africans work hard. I see these women retracing their head. Oh my God, it just breaks my heart. A human being. But what else to do? They work hard. If such a woman or a man was given $1,000, oh, okay, create this business, we're going to watch you, make sure you're not blowing the money on kalo. You're not going to prostitutes. We're going to monitor to make sure you can have fun, who cares? But make sure you reinvest in this business because it's for us all. Well, you can be rich, it's your business, you can be the millionaire, but guess what? You got to contribute to the society. You see, they'll become a big businesswoman, businessman. It's money, credit. But when the system comes in and says, look, if you lend money, we have to monitor it, and you have to only give it to the factory or industry that we encourage, you're limiting creativity. And people are just sitting there. You're like, you're lazy. They're not inspired. Inspiration is important. Inspiration. I know it. When I was 12 years old, people used to collect prizes. 13 years old, I was collecting prizes. 14, what happened? I've never talked about it much, but I've been talking about it lately. What happened? I became a mystic. I became a philosopher. I began to say, what is the point of this? The inspiration. I started lacking inspiration. I wasn't inspired anymore. That's how it works. And you can't put energy to something you're not inspired for. It's like, what is this? I would just get bored. My inspiration lay in other things. Geography, exploration, the advanced science. But I couldn't go there because it was like be math or this. And I was just bored. So I'm speaking from experience. When a man or woman is inspired, you hear, you're doing what you're so, you will be tireless. We won't call it hard work. You just can't stop doing it. You will just do it. You love it. You will create wealth. Whereas they say, no, that's a pipe dream. There was a man in Ijebu, Kobise Oladipo, like a carpenter. He became really rich. My dad, big business, working, business. If you find the right people in the right, they would work hard, literally work hard, and they'll create wealth. The genius of it. But the central banking system is negative magic. It is negative black. It's negative witchcraft. Nothing else you can call it. You go into a country or into a people, you print money out of thin air. What are you producing? Nothing. That's how these people are. They're useless. They're leeches. They're worms. You go print money out of thin air, and then you say, this is how much credit. This is what Christ preached against. When he went to the temple and he destroyed it, probably the only recorded memory. I say recorded because I'm sure a man like Jesus was not walking around or simply, he must have been pure fire. He must have spoken in flames. That's why he got killed. He must have been like a tornado. I'm pretty sure some people like that. He must have, because he's awake. He's spiritually awake. He's alive. He's alert. He must have gone in and he saw what they're doing. And he lost his temper. Or maybe he got pissed. Usury. Why are you doing this? You give somebody one gold bar and they have to give you flesh on a pound. They're not going to thrive. Not because it's bad to be a banker, not because it's not good to be, but banking has to serve wealth, not the other way around. A banking system, credit system, you lend money to help people create wealth. So they actually benefit. Because before it was just printed, now there's actually something available. Now you can give a little profit. You see the difference between the Wall Street profit-obsessed system. That's what's destroying America. Different video. The Wall Street, they took the whole industry from America. What was done to Africa has been done to America. Those of who don't know, since the 70s, they began to destroy the factories. Go to Detroit, it's gone. Why? Because the people who run it are the central bankers. All they care about is no community sense, no fellow man, love for fellow man, creating wealth. They just want cheapest labor. Where could they find it? China. China has 1 billion people or more, 2 billion. They say, let's go exploit those people. Let people hear about China. Don't be deceived. It's a British Empire. They put the money there. And their plan is to loot this country and move everything over there. Whenever a country begins to complain and say we want more social services, we want more free press, freedom of speech, they're afraid of it because the news will spread. What I'm saying will spread. People will know, oh shit. You know how many Americans don't know about the Federal Reserve? Federal Reserve. They don't know about it. I have to tell them, African man, look, and then they go read, oh, you're right. I'm like, yeah, I've studied this. That's what's destroying this country. It's a leech. America developed itself to the height military productivity in spite of these leeches. Because the system, they hate it. They hate it. They are the ones that brought slavery to this country to destroy it. You see, when you bring slavery to a country, you destroy it because people don't work anymore. They say the slaves will do it. When a man or woman doesn't work anymore, that's the beginning of the death. You want to contribute something. America got corrupt. There's fat cats. They don't have to do anything anymore. That's the British system. The monetary, they just print money all day long. Why do you have to work? Well, you can't be printing money. It's stupid. You create wealth, products, things. See, yeah, following what I'm saying, yeah. This is enough for tonight. I feel like I've said enough. I have to go for a walk I like to exercise my body to keep it strong so I can be here for another 40, 50 years. Because I don't plan to leave soon. I got so much to do and to create, So thank you all for listening to all this, and I hope, even if you feel like what I'm saying you don't agree with, please in your heart, take a deep breath. Just keep your heart open. Keep your solar plexus, your heart center, keep it open, because that's how we grow. And if what I said doesn't match your intuition, your experiment, then throw it out. Just say that guy is crazy. I can live with that. But not until you've done your homework. Because what I say, I can back it up. 15, 20 years of research. Thousands of books. Hundreds of thousands. No, not hundreds. But thousands of books. Meditation hours. These are things that anybody can find out. This is theory, y'all. So I hope Trump wins, or some modicum, somebody, wherever it is, wins the White House and opens up the whole planet internationally. Imagine Russia and America coming together, military power, they can stand against the British system. This is what we're up against. Let's stand against them. Because the British system is going to go. It's a Mars style, war style. You have to sustain this money printing, you have to keep endless wars. No more, we're done. No more wars, it's over. Age of Aries is gone. It's gone. The time for creativity is here now. So let's hope that Africa, not by depending on the West, I'm not talking about we have to depend on America. No, it's about we also stand in strength. Because guess what? They can't kill us all. If Africans have enough guts and say enough robbing, stop robbing us, we're going to develop our own factories. But not because we don't like you guys. We'll still allow you to be industrious, but you're going to pay us a worthy price because we know the value of what you're taking. We see what you're doing with it, and we have the intelligence to do it too. Industrialization is the way. Industrialization. Let's not be foolish, my brothers and sisters, and think the sign of wealth is somebody that has a big house. That's not the sign of wealth. Oftentimes it's a sign of a thief. They want to show up, build the biggest house. I'm not against big houses. I like them myself. But oftentimes they're the ones that want to build this to show off. No. A truly wealthy man or woman is an industrialist. They may have a bookstore. A bookstore is a kind of industry because you have books coming in. If you're a music factory, you can create music. Something is moving, is energy. Books that people are buying, give you money, you sell the books. When you sell the book, you sell potential knowledge. That's what is wealth. People can read it, discover, wow. Anything that creates wealth is beautiful. That's what we need. Mechanics, teachers like me, true intellectuals, mystics, everybody bringing their wares to life, saying, this is my gift. Do y'all want it? And from the look of things, based on who's listening to what I'm saying, looks like more and more people are listening. So that's very encouraging. And I can make more videos sharing this beautiful love with you all. So go to Oluwa Adams-Oyenuga on YouTube, subscribe. I'm going to put in videos there on my YouTube channel now for more people to access it, because I can see the need. People are showing up. I'm even trying to catch up, but it's so many people. So it's a good trend because I've been training for this. So it's a good thing. I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's spread the words. Okay? Thank you all. And I'm also going to work on my website. It's going to come on. It's going to be really working much better so that we can actually have access. And you can send me your email. All those are coming out. I'm going to let you guys know, okay? So please, let's come together as one human. We're one. We are the Atlanteans. This used to be one continent. One continent. It fractured into 7, just like the chakras. People talk about first chakra, second chakra, the spiritual centers. To me, they're one. It's like a building, first floor, second floor. Why do you make a distinction? This is a building. This is who we are. The pyramids, the planet split into many fractions. Now let's literally, metaphorically, energetically bring it as one. White, black, orange, green, all of us, we're brothers and sisters, and at most, distant cousins. When Atlantis broke into many parts, some people get caught up in the ice age, no sun, no weather, it affected some of the body and it parts to get lighter, they became the white people, that's all. Because the continent split into pieces. Those who were near the equator got a little darker, much darker, but we're cousins, we're all the same. It was one people, different shades, like anybody who's in the African or indigenous cultures. You know, some are lighter skin, some are darker, different shades of color were there, yes. But the extremity, very black, and that came because of the planets moving apart. And the universe is saying now, come together, y'all. Let's not fight each other. We just forgot about each other. At the core of my message, whatever I said, is love, international brotherhood, peace. Let's come together as human and presence. Let's meditate. Let's come to that core of unity in the energetic body of the one planet Earth. We are one, y'all. I love you all. Blessings. Take care. Bye.